so podcast 22. Everybody, hopefully you saw our video on Instagram and on Facebook. We were actually together today. We had lunch, but we're doing this on Skype tonight instead of the regular Google meeting. So Eric up here, Gabriel's down there. What you got to say, big man?
What's up, man? I'm getting ready to do this podcast. Let's get it going.
All right, so we're on podcast 22 now, and we're going to cover a multitude of topics and just let you know some basic facts, some interesting topics, and maybe get into an argument here and there on certain things. We've also switched over to Anchor, which is a company that we can do these podcasts, and it'll just be the audio. So if you go to Anchor FM, you can go ahead and listen to any of our past podcasts. If you're driving to work, if you're going to school, if you're going out to dinner, or you got a 30-minute drive, an hour drive, you can simply on your phone just go to that and click, and you'll be able to hear any of our podcasts. We're not only on Anchor, we're on Spotify. So if you type in the Two Old Pirates on any of the following companies, you'll go ahead and be able to hear all of our podcasts from one all the way up to this one, which is podcast 22. So you're going to have plenty of stuff to listen to, because I know you guys are all going to want to listen to this. Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, Radio Public, and Pocket Cast. Those are the 5. We should be getting Apple Music / iTunes. We should be able to have that in the next week or two. So if you are more of an auditory person and you like to hear when you're driving, the Two Old Pirates are there. You just have to type in 2 Old Pirates, and you'll be able to go ahead and find us on 5 different areas, 5 different audio platforms. And we should be up to about 9 within the next week or two, which is just amazing for us. So we'll still be on YouTube if you like to visually see us, because I know some of us I'm looking good. But the thing is, audio is the way to go. Some people like it. And if you'd rather hear us than look at us, then you can also go ahead and do that.
Definitely share, listen, and share as much as you can. We want to get to as many people as we can. And like Eric said, our goal by the end of next week is to at least hit 400. So we're 30 away from that. We've been kind of stuck on this number for a while. So we'd like to get to that 400 and then continue to go from 400 to 500. So listen and share. Please share with your friends through word of mouth, and just share it to different social media platforms, and just let people know, Two Old Pirates are here. We're not going anywhere, and we talk about many topics.
Right now, this is the first time we've ever used Skype, and Gabriel, I sent him a text to see if he could hear me, and he said yes. But on my side of the audio, it's not coming out real clear. So if anybody wants to know, Gabriel has not been drinking all day. That's just the lag in the voice. We're going to try to get this fixed for future broadcasts, because Gabriel has only had what did you get at Subway to drink?
Tea, half sweet, half unsweet.
No alcohol in it though, right?
That I'm aware of, no, unless they put it in there. But I feel good. So no, I have not had alcohol. I've had tea. I had tea this morning. Half sweet, half unsweet. We met up. I didn't have anything to drink on the way up there. I had 3 bottles of water, so I drank them all by the time I got back home. Stopped off at a Subway and got another half sweet, half unsweet tea.
Want to talk about a couple lighter things now. We're going to go ahead and get off that for a little bit. Okay, I talked to Gabriel just before we came on, and video games are a big thing. All of our kids seem to play Fortnite or different things like that. When the new Madden comes out, that's one of the biggest sellers every single year. People love sports, and they love, entertainment and stuff. An original 1985 Super Mario Brothers game, still in the package, I was telling Gabriel, was put up for auction, and a mystery buyer bought it for $114,000. So it's a video game that we've all played, came out in 1985. But the only difference is it's never been opened. It's still sitting there in the cellophane, and it's $114,000. Gabriel, what do you think about something like that? Somebody taking $114,000 and just saying, I want a regular game that I can buy anywhere for less than $1. I can get it for free probably. But because it's still technically in plastic, and it's pristine, it's perfect, I'm going to spend $114,000.
Well, I can tell you, I would never do that. I would never be that person. But you know, I really didn't play a lot of video games when I was young and I was in college for any type of video. So it's just crazy to me to think that somebody would do that. But hey,
Okay.
you got to go ahead and spend it.
I wanted to say something because Gabriel was on it before I was. So I'm just letting you know I was the more mature person. All right. But Gabriel's kids got him to download an app called TikTok. And TikTok is blowing up everywhere. It's hundreds of millions of people are on this. Everybody posts videos hoping that they're the next famous person. Girls are trying to look like models, and people are trying to be funny to be the next comedian. Gabriel told me that I think his daughter, was it your daughter that downloaded? Who downloaded it for you?
They actually, I heard about it. Actually, it wasn't even my kids. It was people at work. But at this point, I don't see it often like I used to. But it's okay. I mean, I'll take a look at it.
Well, one of my sons told me about how popular it was, and so he downloaded it on my phone without my consent, and he set me up an account, which I haven't posted anything, but I did watch some of it, and then I found one night I was still up until 4 o'clock in the morning watching these things, and I was like, crap, everything that I talked bad about it, I'm doing that. So I spent a good like 3 or 4 hours lost on TikTok. I mean, you can get political people. You know, I thought it was just a song and dance thing where people dance to things. There's all different things. There's like babies that like they put a different voice behind it. So there's some really creative stuff on there. I'm still probably going to put up my first TikTok probably sometime this week where I talk about how there's far too many people that are trying to be famous on there instead of just putting stuff that's funny. There's some people that like put really touching things on there. People that put things about their grandfathers and stuff. I can deal with those things all day long. I just don't like all the people that are trying to like. Seems like every chick has tats all over herself. Every chick has to have the proverbial nose ring. There's a lot of sexual innuendos, a lot of X-rated stuff where people are saying. There's just, to me, it's very immature at some points, and those are the ones that I just have to skip because I'm like, there's no point to this and stuff. I guess they're just young people. The one thing that I did want to say I didn't like about TikTok is how many parents I saw that were in the TikToks with their children, not adult children, and they're cursing, or they're having the kids curse, or they're doing something really, really stupid in the house that is totally inappropriate, not dancing or anything like that. And I know that I'm an old timer and I'm old school, but I'm not going to let my kids cuss in front of me just to be on TikTok. If they came and said, Dad, can we do something on TikTok? What is it? Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to curse at you. No, I'll pop you in the mouth. I'll wash your mouth out with soap, but you're not going to be doing that crap in front of me. But Dad will be famous. I don't want to be famous if I have to have all my rules broken inside my house so that somebody else can see it and like it with a heart. It's a bunch of crap. Anyways, we're going to talk about some of the polls that we did. We did some polls on the Two Old Pirates, and hopefully some of you that are listening actually voted on some of these. One of them was, what is a worse taste? Drinking orange juice after brushing your teeth or cucumber Gatorade? And the highest percentage was the OJ after brushing your teeth. To me, it's always been probably one of the most disgusting tastes you could ever have. It won like 70 or 80% of the vote. Gabriel, when I was talking about putting that poll up, he actually said, what did you say about it?
Well, it didn't taste good. I've done that before. I mean, it didn't taste good, but I drank the juice anyway. I thought the cucumber Gatorade was worse, but I found that I'll just ask people some questions. Say, what do you think about this poll? And oh no, it definitely be. I'm not the OJ after you brush your teeth is awful. And so I kind of thought, yeah, it didn't taste good, but I mean, I've done it a couple of times, but it wasn't that big of a deal to me, but I guess it is to a lot of people. So, but I would think the cucumber Gatorade is worse, but that's just me. But actually, the other one won.
The next one was, who are you more afraid of when you're a little kid, mom or dad? Like if they came home, who are you more afraid of? And Dad won, but it was close. It was 53 to 47%. So I don't know about you. I got spanked once in my life, and that was just because I got too close to the road and they popped my butt. but I was always more afraid of my mom than my dad. Uh, my dad probably could have killed me if he wanted to. I mean, not that he would have, but I mean, my mom was like this little 4'11" Swedish lady, but she always said, "Don't test me, don't do it." And we were like, "Holy crap, what could she do?" It was the idea of what could happen instead of like going to get a switch and having your butt whipped. But we also talked about, oh, this is an interesting one because this would fit more with Gabriel than with me. We did a rap poll about the music genre of rap, and we did 1980 to 1999 rap versus 2000 to 2020. And so we put it out there, and overwhelmingly, the people that voted, 77% voted that they preferred rap from 1980 to 1999. So, you know, you have your Coolio, you have your Tupac, you have Biggie, you have Run DMC, you have Vanilla Ice, sorry. You have, you know, MC Hammer, sorry. You have Kool Moe Dee. You have just a multitude. You know, Eminem came in there at the end of the 90s. So they kind of added that in. And then you had 2000, 2020. I think more kids would probably like 2000, 2020, and people our age that remember rap, Beastie Boys. Do you remember any other people besides those from the 90s?
No, I mean, just the ones that you mentioned. I mean, there was a lot of that, hip hop parade. I mean, some of those guys, some of those songs that were big, but I would say the two biggest ones was Biggie and Tupac. I mean, to me, those, and I don't really listen to a lot of rap. I did listen to it more in that time, in that era, than I do now. Although every now and then, you know, working with kids, I mean, you know, you'll hear Migos. I mean, they've got Drake. There are some songs that I still like, but it's mainly songs. It's not an actual rapper. You know, like I love Tupac, and so everything that Tupac came out, I mean, I would listen to. So I think now I'm not really a Drake. I'm not really a Drake fan, but I like God's plan. I mean, there's certain things that I like, certain songs. So I can't say that today's rap is just completely out. But of course, my era was back in the 80s and 90s, and so I really love that type of rap. And I mean, I was really into the Tupac and Biggie Smalls. I would listen to that a lot. I mean, tell you, man, I would, you know.
And the final thing was which TV show was more of a girl show? And we put up, I believe, Gossip Girl and Grey's Anatomy. And
Be careful what you say about Grey's Anatomy.
And Grey's Anatomy won. And Gabriel is a fan of Grey's Anatomy. I have to give you the inside story. I don't understand why this show is on. I don't understand why people watch it. If it was set in like a house or an apartment complex, something like that, it is set at a hospital, and you got people screwing in restrooms. You got people screwing in the changing rooms. You got people leaving this one for that one. There's so much drama, and that's why people like it. But it's so dramatic, it can't be real at all. I mean, there's a guy who came in with like a freaking RPG stuck in him, and there was a bomb next to his heart, and I mean, just stuff. And here's the deal: the guy who is like, he was the main character, and then he died in a car crash or something like that. This bastard got shot in the chest, survived. Plane crash, survived. Come on, man. Just kill the dude off or don't kill him off. I mean, it is so unbelievably absurd, some of the things that they put on there. And the thing is, my wife never really liked TV. She might have watched an old Cheers episode or something. But then somebody got her hooked on this. She's already watched all 16 seasons, and now she's watching them all over again. And I'm like, every single time I pass by, I start bitching and moaning. And she'll be like, I understand. It's not real. You don't have. I'm like, it's causing friction between me and her because it's so unimaginably fake. Now that I'm off my thing, Gabriel, you can defend it.
I like Grey's Anatomy, and I told you not to be talking bad about it. People have been shot before and survived. Why couldn't he survive? People have been shot before, they survived. Everybody who gets shot in the chest dies.
Did you see the other people that were shot? He shot the first chick, boom, dead in the head. Shot the next person, boom, dead. Shot the dude in the chest, and he almost bled out. But he's going to shoot this guy. The guy he went there to kill. He only went there to kill that guy. But anybody who pissed him off along the way, he killed their ass. He goes up and shoots him in the chest, and he happens to miraculously survive. He had a conversation with the guy, and the guy, my wife's telling me, oh, the reason why he didn't shoot him is because the guy made himself look more human, and so he wouldn't kill him because he was more human. He didn't just look at him as an object. But the other people that he shot in the hospital, they weren't human. I mean, it's just so unbelievable. Just either cap his ass and make it look real. It's just bullshit. I'm sorry. Some
of that stuff does happen in real life.
He sat there for like 10 minutes, maybe just shoot his ass.
Well, let me tell you, when Grey's Anatomy first came out, I was like, I ain't gonna watch it. And actually, everybody was watching it, and I was like, I ain't gonna watch it. Well, my sister got into Grey's Anatomy, and I'm gonna watch it one time. I just had to watch it one time, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna watch the next episode, and I haven't finished it yet, but I liked it. I mean, I liked the characters. You talked about all the stuff that goes on there. I got hooked on it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm somewhere in the 8th or 9th episode. I don't know exactly where I'm at. I'd have to go back, but I plan on finishing it. I like it. I think I could sit over with you and watch it. And if you just want to sit there and dog it, you can. We'll just put your place and continue to tune you out until you're quiet, and then we'll go back to watching it. But I happen to like it. I happen to think it's pretty good. I don't see anything wrong with it. I liked it, and that's because I don't really get into stuff like that. But I got nothing bad to say about it. I like it.
I think the reason why I don't like it is because it's so far fetched. It's set in a professional setting, a hospital, and think about sexual assault, sexual allegations, lawsuits, all this shit that would happen for sure. If somebody walked into the dressing room and I'm banging somebody up against the wall, I'm screwing some chick, and I'm a doctor and she's a nurse or something like that, I'm gonna get fired. All these people just kept their job until they either miraculously died or they moved away or something. Their asses all would be fired. There's a time when Grey, the main lady, Meredith Grey or whatever, she does something completely illegal in one of the episodes, and she's supposed to be like banned or something. Shit, they're season 16. Her ass is still around. I mean, she literally went against the law and did something, and then people are like, well, she broke the law, but it was to save a life. And I'm all like, it's still breaking the law. The law doesn't look at it like that. It's still your ass is over. Your medical license is gonna be stripped. Yeah, I don't understand. If it was set in a like a fictional setting, it's set in a hospital everyday setting. These people can't wait to get home to have sex. They're like, dude, we gotta do it right here. Take the scrubs off. And I'm all like, there's chicks that are in the men's dressing room. There's people that are like physically kissing in front of other people and flirting and stuff. There's people that are like operating. They're in an operating room operating on a person, and they're fucking bitching at each other doing, you don't even understand. I liked him. And I'm all like, this shit doesn't happen. It just does not happen. And that's why I'm going bananas over it, because I'm all like, I'm a teacher. Can you imagine at a school if you walked in the men's restroom and there's a guy with one of the female teachers just having sex right there? They're going to be fired on the spot. But this has been 16 years of these people doing this shit. I freaking hate this shit.
I think you're putting too much thought into it. You need to relax. It's just Grey's Anatomy, and it's fun to watch, and we enjoy it. I think you should just sit back, get some popcorn, pickle something to drink, sit down, and enjoy watching Grey's Anatomy with your lovely wife. I'm sure she'd enjoy it without you having to criticize a show that she really likes, and probably would like to have you sit there and watch it with her for the second and third time. I know you have it in you to do it. You can do it.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. Can't do it. I love her to death, and I can't do it. It's my analytical mind won't let me think like that. It won't let. If it was Star Wars or something, I could say, hey, it's in the freaking universe or something. It's not real. But this is like set in a real life thing. I mean, if there was one or two little things, but there's always these stupid plot twists, and I'm like, this is so unreal. It's unbelievable. So yes, she'll have to continue watching by herself because she doesn't like going to my music anymore. She doesn't like seeing the Doobie Brothers or Michael McDonald. So I have to go to those by myself so she can watch that by herself.
Don't know anything. We don't know everything we need to know about this virus. So it's concerning for parents, And right now, the best thing we can do is just social distance, wear the mask, obviously. But the best thing is to stay home. I mean, you've got to go to work, do what you got to do, then come home. Don't go out if you don't have to, would be my advice, because I've seen people that I know and I've known for years that are like family to me that are fighting for their lives now. And like I said earlier, I've lost a couple of people. I lost a classmate that due to this virus, and a couple other people that I know. So this is scary. It's for real, and we need to take it serious.
But we wanted to go ahead and talk. I know that it's getting repetitive to a lot of people. We wanted to go and talk about the coronavirus. I know that you guys get sick of hearing about things like this, but it is real. And the sad part is that Corpus, for a long time, it said, look, we're one of the biggest cities and we barely have any cases. And as you've seen in our past podcasts, it's been growing and growing and growing. I'm going to let Gabriel tell you the information that we found out today. Out of the 10 top hotspots in the United States, go.
Well, I know that Victoria, Texas, which I don't know, Rockport is in between, but Victoria is about an hour north of Rockport. They're actually the number one hotspot here, and Corpus Christi, which is 30 minutes probably away from Rockport down south, is the fifth hotspot. So we're right in the middle of this virus, and this week we really hit. We for a couple of weeks now. I know a couple of people. They're like family to me that are in the hospital fighting for their lives. And I've known some younger kids that have also been affected by this virus that had to go into quarantine. And here this past week, I lost a classmate a few days ago, I think on Wednesday, which I got to tell you, Eric, when I found out that he passed, I got sick. I was at work and I actually got sick for about a good 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, I just had to kind of step away a little bit, and I just really didn't feel good after losing this classmate. And then another gentleman that was older than the both of us also passed away. And so here, where we're at in the Rockport, Corpus Christi area, of course, we're seeing the effects right now. And what scares me is that this is just the beginning. And I still see people out doing things. And some of us have gotten better at wearing masks, but the social distancing still isn't occurring at the most spots that I see. And that's concerning to me for the reason that we just don't want anyone else to get sick. We definitely don't want to lose any more lives. But everyone has their opinion on this virus. I've heard about the death rate it's minimal. Some people still believe that some people will catch it, and the survival rate is high. But we don't know. We're starting to see it in younger age groups, I guess maybe like in the 20s. And even though they do survive, we just don't know what kind of effect this virus can have long term for them. So if you are 19 or 18 and you contract this virus, where will you be when you're in your early 30s, late 30s, early 40s, right?
So yeah, like you're saying, when the news came out last night, national news, anytime that your hometown or a town that you're near makes the news, you're kind of like, you're hoping it's for good reasons. And in this case, like how Gabriel was saying, Victoria, smaller town, maybe 70,000 people, they're the number one hotspot in the entire United States as of yesterday, as in the amount of people catching it, being tested positive, whatever you want to call it, it's number one. I mean, you're talking about LA, New York, Miami, Boston, Seattle, Little Victoria, Texas, number one hotspot. The number 5 hotspot is Corpus Christi, where I presently live. So the 2 of the top 5 spots are towns that are here in South Texas, where we're seeing it explode day after day after day. And so it was a little scary. Yesterday we hit a milestone. We had 72,000 positives. And for like the last 3 or 4 days, we've averaged between 900 to 1,000 deaths. And the scary thing that still scares me and Gabriel, I know for me for sure, is that all I see is people arguing about the numbers, about this is fake, about They're inflating the numbers so that the hospitals can make money. That people they're just writing down positives for people that didn't even get tested. I'm hearing so much stuff on social media, and it scares me because I want to believe that Americans used to have facts before they would just run with something. And we are so 5 seconds now in our decisions that we can read a headline, don't know where it came from, don't know who said it, and we take it as fact. And then we spread it. That's a bad thing. We don't take it as ourselves and investigate it. We take it as fact, and boom, we go with it. So anybody who's been on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you'll see people posting things on TikTok, anything, and they're just like, they just say things, and they'll say, well, I heard from a cousin, or I heard from somebody who knew somebody, or I knew a person who knew a nurse. That's not good enough, man. That's not good enough. So it really offends me that there's so many Americans that would fall so easily into the belief that this is just all either fake. Like, remember, they said it was a hoax and it was going to go away. Well, now it's really bad. And they're saying, oh, all these people that are dying, they're not really dying from the coronavirus. Open your eyes. You guys have all fallen for the trick. So did we not fall for the hoax, or are we falling for this trick now? Or is it that it's somewhere in the middle where it's a real thing and people are really dying and you can't keep just denying it? So the second thing that we want to lead into, since the coronavirus is still hitting so hard and in so many different places, Greg Abbott, our governor, had said school's going to start. And that's just, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we've talked about this. I've seen, as a teacher, I've seen plenty of teachers. I've talked to plenty of teachers on social media. I haven't heard from one saying, yeah, let's do it. Let's just open the schools. They're like me. We all want to go back. We all want to see the kids. We all want to go ahead and be in a normal setting again. But to sit there and have hundreds, if not thousands of kids in hallways, in the cafeteria, on buses, going to the restroom, sitting in class, it's just, it's not a viable solution. I don't care what anybody says. I've had people say, just if the teachers don't want to teach, just hire other people. It's not that simple. It's not a black and white issue. It's a very delicate issue where you've got to decide. People that have given 20, 25, 30, 35, even more years of their life to education now have to decide, if the governor or my school district says I have to go back, do I go back? And I could possibly catch this if I have underlying medical conditions and I've tried to do the right thing all these months by staying at home, and I'll get fired if I don't. Or do I beg them to let me teach from home? And those kids, where do they go during the class day? There's so many, it's not a black and white, it's not cut and dry. And so, most teachers that I've talked to said, we should not be opening up right away due to the fact that there's so many open ends. Now, the thing that pisses off most teachers is that the Texas Education Agency up in Austin, they are all working like how me and Gabriel are from home. So they're on video calls with each other like this, and they're deciding what's going to happen for teachers and bus drivers and maintenance and lunch ladies, the kids, everybody. But they don't have the guts to go to work and sit amongst each other because they know it's not safe. But we're supposed to, as educators, go in there and have 160 to 180 kids a day, 7-8 classes a day. You don't know who has it, and once they get it, they have to be out of school for 14 days. And if they're in your class and they tested positive, everybody's got to be tested, and you have to be quarantined for 14. So how do you even have a class? And then you don't know if that kid went to another class. What about that class? It's just it's an unbelievable universe of what ifs. And for the TEA to sit their butts at home on a computer and talk to each other saying, this is what teachers should have to do. Go to work, sit amongst each other. Don't be wussies. You're the ones who's going to put our lives and the kids' lives in danger. You're not putting your lives in danger. You're sitting at home making all the decisions. That's a bunch of crap. I don't know if you have anything to say about it. And the other thing is, I'm not sending my kids back to school. Not until this clears up. If I have to go back and teach, that's one thing. I'm not putting my kids in school. And that's coming from a teacher.
But I don't think it's feasible to just send them back next month. I think we should hold up 2 months to see where we're at in October. Unless we really think this through, I mean, we don't want any kids to be infected. And you got to take a look at the fact that, you kids are in class. You can do whatever you can to social distance, possibly wear a mask, but they leave the school. It's not like they're in a bubble. They leave the school. Teachers leave, go back home. These kids go back home. What do they do when they leave on a Monday from school? Do they go straight home? Where do they go? And then you're going to have all these kids come back on a Tuesday morning, not knowing where they've been. Just does not make any sense to me. And everything that I've heard from officials, whoever makes these decisions, has not. I've got a kid that is going back to school this year. Nothing that I've heard gives me or makes me feel safe to send my kid back to school. I'm very concerned, for my child and for the other kids. So until I can hear something better, and that's why I think it's going to take some time.
So everybody, please take care of each other. Take coronavirus seriously. Protect yours and your loved ones so that nobody has to go through this. And we will see you at podcast 23. Peace out from Corpus.
Peace out from Rockport.
When we put this out, but I want to thank everybody. Remember, we are on 5 different audio sites, and all you type in is 2 Old Pirates, and we'll pop up, and you can pick all the different podcasts that you want to listen to. We'll still be on YouTube with this actual video out there. Please, please, please share. And remember, 2 Old Pirates on Facebook. We now have over like 300 and almost 70 followers. If we can get that to 400 by the end of this week, and every person watching this, share it to one person. Share it to one person and tell them, hey, follow these guys. They're funny, they're informative, and they really care about people. And then let's try to get that to 400.
Yeah, and Eric, don't forget that we talk about all kinds of stuff on the 2 Old Pirates. I mean, on this podcast, we talk about, we can talk about funny stuff, comedies. We can do crime stories. We can talk about anything. I mean, we've got a political page where we do politics on that. We've got a sports page that we just talk sports. So this is just mainly everything else outside of politics and sports. So anything that they want to talk about, we'll research it and we'll talk about it. We can do music, we can do movies, we can do whatever, video games, we do whatever. And this is the podcast where we can talk about multiple things. And